Hi, welcome to Vinyasa Wellness and Weekly Wellness Tips. Today I'm talking about food cravings. So right out of the gate, I want to put out the reminder that this is by no means meant to be a comprehensive guide to the area that we're discussing. I'm presenting a topic and giving you some small little tips. And they're small, but they're not superficial. They can make a big impact. And if it sparks and inspires you, you can ask some questions down below or do a deep dive on your own. So with that said, deconstructing cravings is what I call this challenge that we have. And I work with my clients on deconstructing cravings over several sessions of time. It can be a really big one. So I want you to know it's something that everybody deals with on some level. And it's really my number one thing that I encourage you to be kind to yourself and gentle with yourself as you work through these challenges. Self-awareness is your friend, but self-shaming is definitely not your friend. And you are not weak when you succumb to a craving that you wished you had avoided. And please be attentive to your language. If you find yourself saying, oh, I have a weakness for ice cream, like, hello, it's not a weakness. I mean, we love ice cream and it's hard to avoid. So, and you don't need to avoid it all the time, is the other important thing. The other thing about cravings is that I really suggest you look at them as signals from your body. Again, without shaming or judging yourself, there is something missing. And we're trying to fill that gap in a constructive way, or to look at another way to fill the gap. And rather than look at a food I need to avoid, look at foods you can replace it with. A really great example here is seasonal cravings. So in the winter, we're looking for grounding foods, and in the summer, we're looking for light and airy foods. So with that in mind, shop for seasonal fruits and vegetables. And right there, you're getting healthy food, and you're getting food that may curb some of that cravings if they're coming out of that kind of seasonal zone, which is super common, especially in the winter. Another quick and pretty simple tip is that a lot of cravings come from dehydration. So when you feel that craving for something, try grabbing a glass of water, just real quick without thinking about it, and then give your body some time to absorb and see if that craving kind of trails off. Another really sort of interesting cause for cravings is something I call inside coming out. And there's really two branches to this. One is food memory. And this sounds kind of gross, but there may be food residue left in your mouth even after you brush and floss. So there's another tool I'm going to recommend called a tongue scraper. And you just in the morning scrape this along your tongue and just sort of get rid of all that old food that's reminding your brain what you ate before. It's simple and it's quick, and they're like $3-4. So it may help reduce some of those cravings, even if in just a small way. The other side of inside coming out, I'll circle back to. It's childhood memories and even ancestral foods. It sort of goes to the comfort food zone, and my little tip there I'll touch on in a minute. The other big cause for food craving is lack of nutrients. So you may be lacking some minerals if you're craving salty foods, or if you're craving caffeine, it may mean that your food has not been nutritionally dense enough to provide you with the energy that you need. So here's my tip, and it's a little bit of a bigger one. And again, with a big caution sign, to be non-judgmental is a food log. And I'm not a big fan of food logs generally, especially not for tracking calories. But if you'd really like to sort of look at what you're eating objectively and non-judgmentally, and just take a snapshot for about a week of the food you're eating and look back, it's a really, and what you were doing at the time that you were partaking in this meal. What is that meal? Was it did you have fast food? 4 times that week, and maybe you could try to figure out why and where you might be able to replace one or more of those meals. Or if you're eating processed food, you can look back at that and just think, oh, what else can I pick up in the grocery store that isn't processed and might fill that need at the time, and that I can easily throw in my bag and take along with me. So those are 2 suggestions there. Again, non-judgmentally looking back at the food that you ate and seeing you don't have to replace the whole menu all at once. Just see where you can make some small changes. And then finally, there's sort of this emotional side of eating. Again, everybody has this, and some is more profound than others. So I want to recognize that right up front. But the most common is boredom and stress. So, I mean, for me, put a bag of chips in front of my face at 10:30 at night, and there's boredom, or maybe there's stress built up, or something. But I'm going to be challenged in that moment. So maybe you go for a walk instead, and this is probably stuff you've all heard before. It's difficult. And the other thing you can do is journal those moments. If you ate something, if I eat a bag of chips at 10:30 at night, I should be writing down how I was feeling, what happened, so I can again look back and non-judgmentally say, oh, you know what, next time I should try to just get myself to bed or go for a walk. So again, with full recognition that gets into some really difficult areas. There are some small things you can do for the small parts of it, for the boredom moments, or some of those lower stress moments that you do feel like you can wrap your hands around at the moment will help. Every little small bit helps. And finally, as I was saying before, the ancestral foods and childhood memory foods, some of those are really important. And of course, you're going to have birthday cake instead of kale. Please have the birthday cake. But if you can think of some other replacements, for me, it's a protein shake if I'm craving ice cream too frequently. So just some ideas. I hope that was helpful. And again, comments below. Be kind to yourself and listen for those signals. Have a great day.